There are three things in life that you can guarantee will happen. One is death, two is taxes, and three is the NFC North choking in the playoffs. There are three teams that made it this year in the NFC North to the playoffs, and they all went 0-3. This is classic NFC North. For the past 40-some years, they've been complete chokers. The Lions, for the most part, have been bad throughout their history. Vikings are known as the king of choking in the division. The Bears have been, ever since 1985, since then, they've been one of the most dysfunctional organizations. And the Packers, while they've won 2 Super Bowls since then, they have, for the most part, been underwhelming. Another thing about this division is that it has some of the most annoying fan bases. They're all delusional. The Bears fan base definitely is the most delusional. I think the other three fan bases can agree with that. Vikings fans talk a lot of crap whenever they get a good season, and we all know what comes next. They lose in the playoffs, and then they're dead silent. And that's what usually happens. Every year they'll have a good team. Like every 2 or 3 years they'll have a good team, and then they'll lose. And you can see lose in the playoffs, and you can see it coming. Like when it's not in the playoffs, they're always lucky Vikings. But whenever they get into the playoffs, it shows they're frauds and that they're lucky. 2022, they won a bunch of one-score games. This year, they had an easy schedule, and you can see it coming. And as for the Packers, I'm even saying this as a Packers fan, they've got an overrated fan base. There's so many annoying fair-weather Packer fans who freak out over a loss and are so annoying too. And then you get to Lions fans who talk all that crap after finally tasting success just to lose now. If they even if they end up winning a Super Bowl, I'll kind of be happy for them in a way. But if they don't ever win a Super Bowl with this regime and they don't end up winning one, I would kind of laugh because you talked all that crap as soon as you get success to get nothing. So the NFC North has just a bunch of annoying fans too. And like I said, they've been absolute chokers since especially since 2010s. This division may be the most choking division. Like they call it the black and blue division. That's probably why, because they're so blue from choking. And even as a Packers fan, I've experienced choking in the playoffs, but and the other three fan bases like to say, imagine having 2 great quarterbacks for only 2 Super Bowls. Imagine being a Lions, Vikings, and Bears fan. It's much worse. Those other 3 fan bases and team have been losers throughout their history for the most part. It pretty much shows when they hate the Packers more than they root for their own team. If you gave them the choice of them guaranteed to win a Super Bowl or the Packers sucking for the next 60, 70 years, they would choose the Packers sucking because they hate them more than they root for their own team. So it kind of shows how much of losers they are. And I'm not letting the Packers off the hook, even though I'm a Packers fan. They've been underachieving for the past, whenever 50 years, 60 years after, the 60s dynasty. They've been pretty much underachieving, but it kind of gets overlooked because the other 3 have been so terrible. They've been much worse than the Packers. So as a Packers fan, it's annoying when the Packers choke in the playoffs, but one thing I am happy about is you can guarantee, you can take to the bank that the other 3 are going to choke just as bad.